The party
Guy
was lame to me.
Fieri.
Fieri.
That's the fun.
Yeah.
So they're trying to track him down. Mora's at the party.
I just want to say, you are never allowed to pick the freaking theme for anything again. Okay. Albuquerque, fire truck. We're just yelling out words now? What's going on here? Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of BS Drunk Movie Reviews. This is a weekly podcast where we do upload the video version of this to our YouTube channel, so make sure to check us out there. My name is Matt, and as always, I'm being joined by my sister, Vetta. Vetta, how you doing?
Hi,
Hi, how you doing? You doing good?
Oh, good.
You heard me say there are.
I know. I'm like, there's a short waiting to be clipped.
Okay, on this episode, we have a special guest, our friend Cayla. Cayla, how you doing, dude?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here.
Oh, we're happy to have you. And on this episode, we are going to be reviewing a super fun movie, A Bug's Life from Pixar. So
it's our first animated.
It's our first animated one. So Cayla, you got to pick the movie.
Awesome.
I wanted to ask you before we get into it, why you picked A Bug's Life.
Well, I don't watch very many movies, and I was like, I want to watch something that I can like talk about things that I really like, which is anti-bullying. I feel like there's a lot of that in this movie, and I was like, I was born to fuck a bully in the face, man. Like, I just don't.
Me
bullies.
too.
It's my biggest pet peeve.
Yeah,
Right on.
Right on. Okay. All right. So, A Bug's Life. What is A Bug's Life? Flik is an intuitive ant who's always messing things up for his colony. His latest mishap was destroying the food stores that were supposed to be used to pay off grasshoppers, Hopper, and his gang. Now the strong-armed insect is demanding that the ants gather double the food or face annihilation. To avert disaster, Flik goes on a journey to recruit fighters to defend the colony. When he meets a band of high-flying circus insects, he thinks he's found his salvation. All right. So before we get started, I just want to tell you, I love this movie. This movie is fantastic. I'm so happy that you picked it.
Well, I have a question for you. In the insect world, did you think that grasshoppers were the predators of ants? Like, I never until this movie, I never even thought that grasshoppers were vicious. They'd like land on your arm and they make music with their legs. And after this movie, I'm like, oh, grasshoppers are assholes.
Yeah, grasshoppers are straight up dicks. Yeah, they're no bueno. So, okay. So before we get into it, I was gonna I'll save it until later. I have a question for you guys. Okay. So we get to meet the colony, right? And they live on this island, off in the middle of nowhere, it seems like. And
it really just to me looks like a piece of the ground that's elevated up higher than the rest. Not really an island, because they're not really surrounded by water.
Not until the end, or they get surrounded when it rains and stuff. Yeah. Okay. I do have a question about that, but okay. So they are gathering food, right? And I love this part because I love how it's just like, first off, I love any movie that's got just anthropomorphic creatures acting like humans and everything, and they're just like acting like normal humans, even though they're not. They're ants and everything, but he makes like a hat with a leaf and everything. Okay,
and they're walking around on two legs instead of six.
Exactly. And I love that they're gathering food, and they are in a line. And a leaf falls, and I love how it lands, and the guy's all like, he's like, oh, I've lost the line, right? I love this part because then this old ant comes out, and he's like, follow me this way around the leaf, and the whole time I'm just like, well, why don't you just climb over it? It's like, yeah, it's like so simple. Like, I just want to be like, it's a rock. Why don't you just climb over it? So, but they didn't. They went around it.
wall to get into my kitchen.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I love how she's all like Princess Ada, who I want to talk about. She's like, there's a gap. There's a gap in the line. And he's like, we only lost a few inches and everything. And but I wanted to talk about the colony as a whole, okay? Because it seems like I'm all like, this isn't how ants normally act. Like if you attack the queen, the ants like go ape shit. Like they're just all like, "Oh, we're not having any of this nonsense." But these ants were very different. They're all like they were not attacking the queen. Did you guys like the fact that they were all like, like scared the whole time, or did you wish they acted more like ants would act in real life?
I just was like, at some point, they had an ant queen that was kind of a pussy that she bowed down to all this. Because I'm like you, there are millions of ants and like two grasshoppers. This shouldn't have happened. But, it wouldn't have been as good a movie if, Hopper would have died right away because
I
they,
disagree. What about you, Kayla? What did you think? Did you think that you wish they were more like real life ants, or are you happy
But
with the
it
way it
was
was?
kind of funny that they were dumbasses that are like, "Oh, I gotta leave." And then the grasshoppers were like, "We're smarter, so that's how we're more powerful, is we use our brains, and y'all are stupid little ant brains."
Right?
and I love how Flick is a genius and they treat him like
Yeah.
he's got, autism or something.
Right. Well, I'm pretty he might have a touch of it, but at the same time he's like you said, he's a genius. I did want to talk about Flick. So we'll talk about Flick right now. So Flick, who has invented this really cool contraption where it grabs the stalk, it saws it off, and then it pulls off all the seeds and saves them in this little pouch on his back. And I love the bit where it like flings it and it lands on the princess and everything. And I want to talk about her in just a second too. Um, but we get introduced to Flick, right? Now, I don't know about you guys, but I like Flick because I think that Flick was just like a genuinely good person, and everybody, like you said, Vetta, was just shitting on him like the whole time. I mean, until he became a hero, but they were just shitting on him because they're like, "Oh, here's Flick again with his dumb ideas and his new
But
age
don't you remember
thinking."
when he's like in front of the council or whatever, and they're trying to figure out how to punish him, and they're like, "We're gonna sentence you to the tunnels," and they're like, "Oh no, remember the last time he did that buddy system thing?" And I remember how that worked out. And I go, I think it just means he was being like every idea, every department head like said, "Oh no, do you remember what happened?" I'm like, you do know that's the buddy system that saves people's lives, or you do know that's like an assembly line that's better. I'm like, he's actually really smart and trying to help them, but because it's something that's new and different than what they're used to, they think he's just an idiot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But he's not. He's not. He's actually really smart. Um, I also wanted to talk about Princess Ada, but Kayla, what did you think about Flick? Like just overall as like a character slash a person, an ant, if you will.
So I fucking hate Flick. I think he's so annoying. He's always like yelling. He just can't be chill. He's always like, "But why?" And you're like, "Oh, chill out."
So he's a genius with a
Or
touch of
he's
autism and apparently
annoying.
a touch of ADHD as
Hey, listen,
well.
hey, that's
Very much.
yeah.
He is all over the spectrum.
So okay, so
Yeah,
oppose
he's
so
smart.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So we also get Princess Ada. Now, I don't know about you guys. I did not like Princess Ada. I thought she was a bitch the whole time. Like she's just straight up like
Someone needs to
totally
slip her a Valium.
yeah,
She
she's
needs to
like
calm down.
yeah, she's high strung. Okay, and then this is also a thing. I no, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know a bunch about ants or anything like that, but I thought a colony only had one queen, and I didn't realize there were princess queens or princess queen ants. I'm like, that I don't think that's how that works.
Well, it's not like everyone dies the minute the queen dies. They go on. They
Yeah,
don't go and join another colony, do they?
exactly.
I don't know enough about ants either. And our mom would never let us have anything like an ant farm because, that's
Yeah.
gross. But
Yeah, I the whole time I'm just like, I don't think Princess Ada would be princess. I feel like she would just be like maybe the queen would just send her
you
little
should have
minions.
asked the Goog, how do ants work?
No, that's okay. I'm good. I like us just guessing right now. Um,
Yeah.
But okay, so back to Princess Ada. I thought that I just the whole time I'm just like, you're not, I don't think you're a good leader. I don't think she becomes a good leader. And I just think the whole time she's just like this strung out bitch that's all like, "Ugh, we gotta feed these grasshoppers." And I'm all like, fuck these grasshoppers. I'm like, you need to figure out a better defense system, honey. So you're like a kingdom letting a
Yeah.
motorcycle gang roll up in and just I mean all like this ain't some Sons of Anarchy, okay, bitch? So like rock it out, all right? So
Don't you think Flick's little thing was also could have been a defense mechanism,
it
cutting
could,
those
yeah,
stalk down and flinging them at the
yeah,
grasshoppers?
exactly, exactly. So okay, so something bad happens. Flick he goes to put his okay, so the grasshoppers show up and Flick goes to put his food inside the or on the altar of food for the grasshoppers. And he accidentally sets off a chain of events that dumps all the food into some water, which I wanted to ask you guys about because the rains haven't come, but all this food lands in water. And I'm like, where did this freaking water come from? It's just showing
The
up.
one puddle that
Yeah,
never
the
goes
one
away.
puddle. And I'm like, what are the odds? You guys had to build your altar by the one cliff that had the puddle
I
underneath
also
it.
go, how deep is it? Because would
Stupid.
these seeds really get dissolved or something from this water? Couldn't they like fish it out?
Yeah, and why is there an altar? Why don't you just put it in the middle of the like the little area and everything? I'm like, this is interesting. But you know
What
what?
I thought.
Yeah, if we didn't have all of this, it wouldn't have happened everything. So okay. So Flick destroys everything, and then the grasshoppers show up, and they are pissed. And I like this scene, especially when they all like crack through the ceiling of their home, their little home and everything. And all the ants are running around and these grasshoppers are like, ha ha. And I'm all like, your home sucks. They were able to bust through with their foot. Okay. That's insane to
That's
me.
not good.
Yeah. So, and the queen with her, leathery skin is all like, hey, Hopper, we left the food up there and everything. And one thing that I always laugh at because I'm like it's so true. I love when Princess Ada is all like, what do you mean? Do you mean that the food's not up there? And he's all like, if the food was up there, do you think I would be down here? He's like, who am I talking to you? You're not the queen. And then he puts his little antlers over his face like, you don't smell like the queen. I was like,
Yeah.
that's funny. That's funny. I like that a lot. That's so funny. And I also did love the ants like home, like how they had little bridges and they had like little mushrooms for lights and everything. So I loved all that. But I did love that joke. That
That was
joke
so
was yeah, that joke was the best. Okay. So I also was like okay, so what did you guys think? Okay, so we got introduced to Hopper. Now to be honest, I liked Hopper as a character. He's a dick, but at the same time he's a fun dick. I mean, that doesn't come off right. But anyways, he
And say that's what she
yeah,
said.
yeah, exactly. Like he's just funny. He's just funny in the sense that like even though he's like not a good dude, he's actually a pretty good leader because he understands what it takes. He understands what he's got to do. He understands, the type of fear he needs to instill in his own people and his enemies kind of thing. What did you guys think of the introduction to Hopper?
Oh, I think Hopper's the best because
Dramatic.
with go ahead.
Oh, it just was very dramatic how he entered scene. But I liked him. I liked his character. He, like you said, he was a really good leader. Gross looking. I thought they were all, I wrote greasy, grimy gopher guts. That's what he made me think of.
Well, I love how I love also his brother Molt, how his brother Molt was all like, remember that time the bird almost ate you and you got scared and you were like, ah, and everything. He's like, and I love the line where he goes, I swear, if I didn't swear to mother on her deathbed, I wouldn't kill you. I'd kill you. And then he's like, and I no one appreciates that more than me. I'm like, that's good. I was like, this is funny. I like this. I like this.
I love Thumper, the
Oh yeah,
crazy,
yeah,
like
yeah.
psychotic
Which
grasshopper.
Which I what is yeah, what's going on with Thumper? Like what's his problem? Like I don't understand him. Like they've got him on a leash. Like
I think
is
he's a meth head.
That explains him. Like he's just like,
He's a tweaker.
yeah, like
Totally.
he's like their gimp. He's got him on a leash, like made out of grass and everything. And I'm just like, what's happening here with Thumper? He's just crazy. And I love that the Princess Dot is like scared of him because like out of everybody, she's scared of the one that's all like rah and everything. Um, okay.
Hmm.
So they realize that Flick messed everything up, right? And the council decides that they're gonna send him away to get bigger insects to come and fight the grasshoppers. And they just think this is like the best idea ever. Um,
Sarcastically.
yeah, sarcastic. Yeah, because they're all like, yeah, he'll go away. We'll collect the food. Because now they have to collect double the food to to stave off the grasshoppers. But they can't give away half the food. Damn it. So he goes away. One thing I loved when he went away was I loved his whole look. I love that he made a backpack out of leaves, and that was his little sleeping bag. And I love how he had the little leaf
His little
hat and everything.
visor.
Yeah, I loved all of that. I loved all that. That's
This
like I
full on
said,
Boy Scout.
yeah, I loved it. It was great. And I
He's
love
so
how
cute.
right, and I love the two little boy ants that were all like, he's like, my dad's betting that you're gonna get eaten and everything, or so. I can't remember exactly what it was. And
Or
I
you
was like,
won't succeed. My dad said you won't even come back. You're gonna die.
yeah, and it's like, yeah, you guys are real, you guys aren't really a great hype men. You just so you know, you guys kind of suck and everything. But I loved how he grabbed that little like dandelion thing and he like used it as like a parachute almost. Because remember
He
when you
Mary
used to,
Poppins did.
yeah, he Mary Poppins did, yeah, and I
He
love that
did.
part. Yeah, because I love how
Respect that rock.
exactly until he smacked the rock. Because I was like, you know what? Why don't real ants use these things? Like what's going on here, you guys? Maybe you guys aren't as smart as you think you are. And he does use that. Okay. So now the big thing was him going to get bigger bugs, and he goes to the big city. Okay, now and I want to talk about this city because it's the city is underneath this trailer, right? And it's like got all this great stuff, and I loved it when he went to the city. I was like, they could make a whole movie just about
Yeah.
this.
I
This
was like,
is
I want more of the city.
yeah, this
He
is
found the
great.
bugs too
I like
easily.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to know how the economics worked of this city. I wanted to know about how like what else they had like what were the politics, was there a
Because now that you
hierarchy?
say that, when that bug orders Bloody Mary O2 or O negative, he never pays for it.
Yeah,
And he drinks it
exactly.
so fast, it's like doing a shot. He's out cold. He passes
Exactly,
out.
exactly. Where are
And
they getting O2 blood that they can put on, ice to just chill for
right.
customers?
And
It
how
was
are they paying for it?
Oh,
Yeah, that's the whole thing. I was so like while watching this time around, I was so fascinated. I was just like, why didn't we get more of this? Why didn't we get a Bug's Life too? Bug in the Big City or something like that, you
Oh, that
know?
would have been good. That would have been good.
Yeah.
is there a Bug's Life too?
I don't think
I
so,
don't think
but
so.
I didn't look it up. So, but I mean, I can while we're talking. But okay, so eventually he does meet the bugs that he is going to bring back with him. And these are all circus bugs, okay? And I just love the circus bugs. But one thing before we talk about them, and you can talk about the character that you pick, but I wanted to ask you guys, out of all the circus bugs, which one was your favorite? AKA, which one did you like identify with the most, or you really liked a lot, or whatnot? Just which one was out of the circus bugs? Because the rest are like ants and grasshoppers. Fuck those bugs; they're not fun. What was your favorite circus bug character? Well, Kayla, since you're our guest, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
Definitely the ladybug. He is so awesome. I loved him,
He
especially
is
when
pretty
like everybody was
awesome.
calling him a woman.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
He
like
wasn't
him.
having any of that.
Yeah, yeah. He's voiced by Dennis Leary, and I love Dennis Leary. He's so funny and everything. I do. You're so right. He is a great one. He's not my favorite, but I did like him a lot. Vetta, what about you? Who's your favorite circus
I
bug?
like Tammy,
Is that the
a
big
big worm.
Tammy.
the worm? Oh, right on.
Hamish. Isn't that his
I thought it
name?
was
Hamish?
What did you say?
Oh yeah, Hammy Heimlich. Heimlich.
Yeah, Heimlich. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah,
Hammy.
yeah.
I call him Hammy for short because he does, to me, he looks like a giant ham.
Oh, right
When he's
on.
I loved him too.
He is pretty
he's
great. Yeah.
awesome.
I love my
Such a
favorite part
good
with him.
baby. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
love it.
My favorite part was when they're distracting the bird, which we'll talk about, and he's like, "Come get me! I'm just a big fat bug on a stick and everything." And then they plop him in, and the bird gets so close, and he's like, the bird's like, "Rah!" And he's like, "Ah!" and everything. He's just like screaming his face off, so good.
Love when they're like suck it in, and I'm like, I really
Yeah,
think he is already,
yeah,
guys.
yeah. He's trying his hardest, you guys.
Like it was so funny when you pretended that you couldn't suck it in, so the bird would keep. He's like, "Yeah, I was pretending."
He's like, that's
Yeah.
called acting.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. He was pretty great. My personal favorite was Rosie the spider. I don't know why. I just liked her a lot. She was pretty great.
Oh,
I just
I
like
love when
how
she's like, and that's how my ninth husband
yeah,
died, and
it's
I became a widow. I mean, I was already a widow before because I'm a black widow, but now I'm a black widow widow.
right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, she was just my favorite. I don't know why. I just liked her a lot. Okay, so he meets these circus bugs, right? And I love their whole act. I love how they were clowns and everything, and I love how Heimlich was all like, he's all like, "Look at me, I'm a clown." He's like, "Ooh, candy corn, give it to me." And I was like, that is so like so it's not only cute, but it's hilarious. Like he's just so funny. And I love how the flies were like hammering the ladybug Francis, because
Yeah.
they were like, "Come here, baby, I got something for you, I got what you want, I got what you need." And he's like, "Listen, pal," which it just speaks to times now, because he's like, "Oh, you like me, I'm a baby bug. Hey, do you like my Adam's apple, fucker?"
Yeah.
And everything.
Well, he's right. There have to be male ladybugs.
Yeah,
They're just
yeah,
called ladybugs. Otherwise,
yeah,
there wouldn't
yeah.
be
Yeah,
ladybugs.
right, exactly.
They're
Which
just pretty.
yeah, right. I would love to know how these bugs know the names of themselves, because humans give them those names. So, okay,
Right?
right. So, okay, so they decide
Question.
they're gonna do the flaming wall of death. All right,
Yep.
and
Oh yeah.
so the flea, his name is like PT Flea or whatever. He sets up some fly paper. Okay, and he sets up these matches, and it makes a line, and the two potato bugs, which are Russian, which I love them also. They are just so great. My favorite part with them is when well, my two favorite parts is when they're on the big rhino looking bug, and they're headed towards the ant hill.
He's telling them the story,
And
the
he's like
plan.
he's like, "And that's just me, ha ha ha," and they're like, "Ha ha ha ha," and everything's so good, so good. I laugh every time. I also laugh when the bird shows up and they're like, "Tweet tweet tweet tweet." Laugh so hard. I laugh. That's the thing I love about this.
When they pop out in front of Hopper and they do the whole act and then they get into a fight.
That
And he's like,
which
oh, that's good. Because I'm
they're
like, that's twins.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
100%
exactly, exactly,
that's
exactly,
twins.
exactly. So good, so good. It was so they're so funny. I love how they made them Russian. I'm like, are those called Russian potato bugs or whatever they're called, or roly poly
I,
bugs? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So, okay, so this is how the flaming wall of death works. So the two potato bugs, they are put into a cannon, right? That is going to be jumped on by the big rhino bug. What was his name? Dim? I don't remember. Anyways,
I
so and
don't
he
know.
was going.
It's just
He
the
was
rhino bug.
Yeah, the rhino bug. That's what I'm gonna call him. And then so he was only the rhino bug is only gonna jump on it as soon as the little timer
Ding.
go that thing, yeah, dings, right? And so but when it dings, he jumps on, and the potato bugs are gonna fly, and Rosie has to swing down and make a web to stop them from shoot to sticking to the fly
Paper.
paper and getting set on fire. And then he's like, and then his big thing is, and they all have to do this blindfolded. I was like, why does everything have to be blindfolded to make it like awe
I say,
inspiring?
wouldn't it have just been impressive
Yeah,
without the blindfolds?
exactly. Yeah, but I mean, I guess that makes it special, right? Now, I have to be honest with you. Um, Altogether, I thought this would have been great if it worked out. I was like, this looks like fun and everything, but it gets messed up, and
Mhm.
it's even better because I love how PT Flea gets stuck to the fly paper, and he's
I know.
because the twins get into a fight again, and then So he gets stuck to the paper, and I love how he's trying to get off of it, and he's pulling off his hair, and so then he finally does get off of the fly paper, but then it falls down and lands on him and everything, and it's like, and then it goes up in flames. And I loved how when with the fleas you could see the flames in their eyes, and they're just like, oh, and everything, and he's just a crispy critter. Did you guys like this part
Why
as
didn't
much as I did?
somebody just I I loved it, but why didn't somebody just walk up and grab one of the matchsticks out of the line?
That's great.
They
That yeah,
just were like trying to get water.
yeah, exactly,
And
exactly.
and I love at the end when the flea comes to find all of them and he's like, the flies loved it. We're gonna do it 2 shows a day where you're gonna catch me on fire and then I'll take off a day to recuperate and we'll do it again. And
Right, exactly.
I'm like, is money that hard up in the big city? What's going on
Yeah,
here,
right.
buddy?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I also love that they're inside of a hat. Their circus is inside of a hat. Like I love this whole. I love the whole anthropomorphic thing.
And then they go to the bar and it's inside of like a can of like beans or something.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah. It's all great. It's all great. Yeah. Okay. So the that part was great, and then so he fires the bugs, right?
all of them because they're the worst circus troupe ever.
Worse. Yeah, exactly. And then we get what was that?
They kind of were. They weren't
Yeah,
very good.
they
They
were
messed.
very. Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, like I said, so he ends up finding the bugs at the bar, like you said, Vetta, where they are
And
are
I can't
doing.
remember the name of it did have a sign outside of it, but all I know is it catches his temperature or catches his attention when he says, I don't want to ever see you in here again, tough guy. And that's what triggers Flint to go, that's where I'm gonna find bugs. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that guy was being sarcastic. You don't ants do not understand sarcasm. Or at
Right.
least Flick doesn't. He doesn't get it at all.
Yeah,
Does
yeah.
not.
Yeah, speaking of that, I love when Flick did see before he did see that bug get kicked out of the bar. I loved how he found the one grasshopper that got his wings pulled off, and he had like his cardboard sign that said like a kid pulled my wings off or whatever, and I was all like, well, sucks to be you. And then I love how he had the mime was like being like all, and I'm like, what kind of bug is that? I've never seen a bug like that. But I did like it a lot. Okay. Kayla, was the him in the when we got to the big city, did you enjoy that part and did you want more of the big city, or did was what we got enough for you?
No, I definitely liked the big city. I liked that part. I wanted to know more about like the circus bugs and their lives, like before the circus too. Um, and
Pretty cool.
the gypsy moth. We had like a problem with gypsy moths here, even though they're not called gypsy moths anymore. They're called like spongy moths or something. So
Yeah.
like watching this movie, it took me back to like having like they were in my yard and I had to take their nest and light it on fire and then
Oh man.
stomp on it while like all these caterpillars were like coming out of it and I was like, oh my gosh. But
She
she's so
literally had to
pretty
make
in
a
the
flaming
movie.
wall of death.
I certainly did, yeah. But to see her be so pretty in the movie and she's like gorgeous and I'm like, oh my god, I stomped on a bunch of you and
You poor lady.
to the stage
Yeah,
or whatever.
Those were the ugly ones. They wouldn't have been as beautiful as her.
yeah.
That's right.
Right on. Okay, so Flick gets to this bar and he's just like watching all this stuff. I did like how the tables went up alongside the can because I was like, I don't know, that's not
Cool.
how. Yeah, it was cool. I was just a small piece of me was like, that's not how gravity works, but it's fine. It's all right. It's all right. It's a movie. It's a movie. Um, so and he's just like weighing out all his options, and I love how how they drink from like these big bubbles of, oh, speaking of that, I did love how when the flypaper went off, how all the other, they're like, they threw water on him, they're like, we need to get water, and they just threw bubbles of water on him, and the flea was like inside it, like spinning. Okay, sorry, I went on, I forgot to mention that. But how they're drinking water, and then we get like that, you said the mosquito had drank some blood, O2, and then I love how he's like, the one bug's like, who ordered the poo poo platter, and those flies just like attack it and everything, which by the way grossed me out.
Gross, so
It was so
disgusting.
disgusting because that poop looked real, and my kids, they love it because they know I can't handle it. I
I
can't
can't
handle
handle
it.
anything that deals with feces
Yeah, so
at
they thought
all.
when I was just like, ugh, they were all like, ha 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 ha, and I was like, it's not funny. It's not funny. That's gross. So, yeah, no, I love that whole thing. Okay, so he goes up to the circus bugs, and while they're there, the flies from the circus that harass sexually harassed the
The
ladybug
ladybug.
Francis, they show up, but they show up with their big cousin bug, and he's all like, he's like, what's the matter now? He's
Do
like,
you think
shoo.
he's just a really big fly or he's a horse fly? Because he's like 100 times bigger than these regular flies.
I don't know what he was, but he was
Kind
pretty
of first
huge.
play.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
go with he was a horse fly. I'm
Yeah.
sticking with that.
Yeah, let's stick with that. And so they're like giving him crap. They're like, haha, they're like ladybug, and everything. And I'm all like, why don't you guys just like fuck off, okay? This dude's just trying to have a drink. He just got fired, and now you're harassing him. Get the hell out of here with your nonsense.
You've sexually harassed him. His trick didn't work out. He got fired. Now he's in a bar just trying to soak his, you know,
Sorrows.
feelings
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
a,
what was the beef about?
bubble of dew. And you guys are going to come in and pick on him because of his wings and he's a little bit of a, ladybug. Who cares? Leave him
Yeah,
alone. You
bully
eat
him into being
poop. You're
woman.
gross.
Yeah, I did. Right. So I love how they get all theatrical, right? And to get rid of these flies, they're going to do Robin Hood, right? And Francis gets the hat, and he's all like, but he uses the stick bug, who I don't remember his name, as his sword. And then I love how he was like, swish, swing, swish, and everything. I was like, dude, you don't have to make noise, okay, right now. Just be a stick right now. And I love how Heimlich comes in. He's like, "We are the merry men. We will stop you," and everything. And I love how he has like one of those plastic swords that you find in like a cocktail or whatever. I'm all like, "Why don't you guys just get another one of those? You don't need to use this stick bug for a sword every time."
But the fly like smacks the stick bug and
Yeah,
is
he
like,
like
they were
grabs him. Exactly, they grab him by the neck, and he's like, ah, and he's like, they're not falling for it and everything. And I love how as soon as he's like, they're not falling for it, Heimlich, like, he just runs. He's like, fuck you, I'm out, and everything. Is like he's just
Tries to
and
run.
they just run up this wall of this bar, and I'm all like, yeah, there you go, subtlety, guys. And it falls off its little like hinges or whatever and just goes a rolling and everything, which I'm all like, man, this is bad for business. There's no way they're going to be able to recoup after this. So he comes in, and they're at the top of this heap of I don't know if they're dead or not, but these bugs, they're all just lying in a heap, and he's all like, I have come, warrior bugs, I have come save us and everything. And
looking
they're all
for
like,
bugs of your talent.
yeah,
That's
oh
what
yeah,
he
yeah, yeah, yeah,
says because
because
they
yeah,
think he's a talent scout.
it's all about the word usage
Oh,
in
for
this
sure.
movie. So Kayla, what did you think about this bar fight? Did you like it? What was your favorite part? Anything you want to say about this bar fight?
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it when the whole bar went off its hinges because it like when you're in the fight and you're watching it, you think like, okay, real life, like real size. And then all of a sudden, no, this is all happening inside of a soup can.
Sorry, I had muted myself. Yeah, it's all happening inside of underneath a trailer. Like that's the best part about this. All this is
Yeah.
underneath a trailer. You're like this guy's not taking care of his home. I just want to say that right now. Okay, so
What
he
happens when
hires
he
these.
moves the trailer or drops? Does the city have an earthquake?
That's a great
Like,
question. That's a great
Oh,
that's
question.
yeah,
why we need a bug life too, taking on the big city.
me
Exactly.
too.
Yeah, and this is where we get them. They fly to back to the island, and Flik, returns and shows all of the other ants that he's brought warriors back, right? And I love how Dot like and I forgot to mention this before, but Flick picks up a because she's all like, oh, my sister doesn't believe in me, my mom, whatever, and everything. And he's all like, he's trying to teach her a lesson, and he picks up a rock and he's like, you see this rock, pretends it's a seed and everything. And she's like, but it's a rock. And he's like, yeah, but pretend it's a seed. And I'm
A
like, yeah,
rock.
yeah. I'm like, yeah, kid, don't you have a freaking imagination? What kind of a child are you? You're too uptight for a child.
Oh
And he's
shit.
like, yeah, he's like, it starts out little and then it grows into a big tree. And she's like, but it's a rock. And I'm like, oh, you have no imagination, you asshole. You're so annoying. So then but I did appreciate that Dot was on Flick's side. Like, unlike everybody else, she was on his side, even though she wasn't like, I don't know, she's kind of stupid sometimes. But anyways, so,
We
so
know that Dot is Flick's OnlyFans subscriber.
they're exactly.
Right. Okay, she does totally have that like little girl crush on an older boy thing going on because every time she sees him, she's like, Flick, Flick,
Yeah,
Flick.
exactly. Exactly, because she's the one that first approaches him when they show up with the warrior bugs and everything. And so he comes out and he introduces the warrior bugs to everybody. And everybody's like, what are you doing? This is crazy. And I did like how Francis was like, you guys, we're losing the gig. We need to pull it together, everybody. And he's like, hey, everybody in the anthill, when these grasshoppers show up, we are gonna knock them dead. And everybody's like, ah, and everything. And I was like, the stars are all aligning on this nonsense. Like, this is just a big bag of bullshit, and everybody does not understand that it's a big bag of bullshit until dinner time. And I'm all like, oh, you guys, this is good fun.
Oh, I love dinner time with the theater shows that every like class at the school is putting on.
Oh
I'm
my God.
like, so good.
Yeah, yeah, it's good because I love how, first off, I was like, oh, I wonder what they're eating. Are they eating their tribute to the grasshoppers? Because I see a seed there, and I was like, you don't have that kind of time and food resources. Okay, so you're right. So
Mhm.
I love how that guy was all like, he's like, as a thespian, we have put the fifth graders in the blueberry bunch or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
We put them together to do a play. And I love their drawing. It, had Heimlich cut in half, and Heimlich, they're like, is
Teacher said it makes it more realistic.
yeah, yeah, more dramatic, more dramatic.
More-
And
So
and
funny.
yeah, and I love how Heimlich's look is just like, what? I'm the one that gets caught. Okay, and then they put
This
on
is
their
Zod's color.
yeah, exactly. And then they put on their play, and if you watched, I wrote it down because there's one ant that just has that look on his face of grumpy. He's like I don't want to do this. I'm all like, oh, he's that kid. He's the kid that doesn't want to be in the play. And
He's that kid that doesn't want to do anything. Like everything's a terrible idea.
right. And I did like how, and I'm not gonna lie, when the kid was all like, he's at the end of it when they're watching, he's like, die, 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 and then he like crumples over. I was like, I kind of want to see this play now. Does anybody else want to see this play? Like, I'm like, I feel like it might have been actually pretty good. It's like when you watch Zootopia, and like that whole beginning play, I was like, this is fantastic and everything. I'm all like,
You're
so
like, why are we just getting a glimpse of
yeah,
this? I want all of
exactly.
it.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like these kids get like not enough credit for their craft and everything. So the warrior bugs, which were the circus bugs, they realize what's happening. They're like, fuck this noise. We're getting the hell out of here. And so they leave. They're leaving, and Flick's all like, Princess Ada, we got a little meeting we got to talk about and everything. We'll chit chat later, right? Baby, because I wanna mate with you along with the rest of the colony. Which that's another thing. All the ants, they're gonna be smashing Princess Ada later. I'm all like, you guys don't. They don't understand how ants work.
I don't know how procreation in the ant world works as far as if
Oh,
she
I'll
lays
tell you how it
eggs.
works.
Well, no, I know how things. I know I have 4 children. I know how that works. I'm saying I don't know how that specific animal, insect? Do they lay eggs?
Yes, they
Do
lay.
they?
Yeah.
Yes. Then no one's smashing anything. She lays the eggs and then they all fertilize them.
Yeah, all the males are fucking the queen with her leather skin. They're just like you walk in, you're like, why are you
Oh my
fucking that
God, and
leather
her poor
coat?
droopy eyes. The
Yeah,
poor queen.
yeah, I got a little bit
She
of that.
has
I need
been
to.
rode hard and put
She,
away
I like
wet
her
yeah,
too
blood.
many times.
yeah. You just want to be like you're like queen.
She had a
Just
lot of babies.
yeah, exactly. Just castor oil with some frankincense on that under eye. You can get rid of that. It'll tighten it up, honey. Okay. So I love how Flick when he confronts them, he's like, you're a circus bugs. I'm like, bitch, did you not pay attention to what was going on? This is your fault. You can't blame
Yeah.
them. This is
Well,
100% all you. I mean, don't get me wrong.
ask.
Yeah. I'm like, you just assumed, and then you didn't even. And I love how the grasshopper is just all like, he's the one feeding him the riot act. Like, no, we're not gonna risk our
The
lives.
praying
Fucker.
mantis.
Oh, that's what I meant and everything. What did I
Uh,
say?
grasshopper.
Yeah, you know what I meant. Anyways, so, okay, so they eventually decide that they're gonna stay because they get attacked by a bird. Okay. Now
Which
I
apparently all bugs are scared of. I thought only worms were afraid of birds.
Well, I mean, I would be afraid of a bird too, because birds will eat any bug. They'll eat any bug. And I love when the bird showed up because it was just nonchalant. And of course, the potato bugs were all like tweet, 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 tweet. So good, so good. And okay, so they're going across this cracked desert type thing, and this is when the ants, who are also out in the open, they're just standing on that cliff, and the bird doesn't notice them because the bird seems stupid. I love how the bugs can talk in this, but the bird is just like swat, swat, and everything. I'm like, what's going on here? Already your story's not tracking. It's not tracking.
Yeah.
So they have this whole time. Okay, so I want you guys to tell me like what did you think about this whole bird attack situation with Flick and the circus bug? Kayla, we'll start with you. Like what was your favorite part about it? Like what did you love about it? What did you wish would happen? Tell me your thought process during this scene.
So I definitely liked the scene. And you said something about the bird not talking. I wonder what the bird would say, like if they would have had the bird talk.
Get
Like
in
what
my
would,
belly.
right? Fuck you up, man.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
up for you. Um, I loved it. I love Pixar movies, period. Just the way that they are animated is so cool. Even
Hmm.
nowadays, even though this movie is from what, like
I think it's like
96,
from, yeah, 96,
98?
97, something like that. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, we're talking what, 20, I can't do math. Whatever.
Yeah.
Decades later.
Right on. It's at least 20 years. So,
30, but
Yeah.
yeah.
your math works too.
Yeah, but
30. Okay.
it's not exactly 30 yet, is it? Because it's only
It's
2000.
closer to 30 because I
Yeah, you're right. It
graduated
is.
in
Yeah, because
96.
it's in 1998, so 18
Yeah.
then so 28 will be 30 years. Okay, so Vetta, what about you? What did you think about this bird attack scene? Like was there what was
I
Go
I
ahead.
love all this because once again, Flick's the one that comes up with a plan, you know, to save them all from the bird, but he doesn't get appreciated. And then the only reason the troop stays is because Francis breaks his leg and can't be moved, and everyone's afraid of the bird now. And I'm like, okay, so apparently you just need to hold one hostage and the rest will stay. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
if it was really that bad, why didn't everybody else go, we'll come back and get you when you're all better? You know?
Right. Right on. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Why
I
were they all?
forgot that Ada,
Yeah.
the snob, Ada,
Right.
used Flick's telescope thing that she was making fun of him for
Exactly.
earlier. Biatch.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. They don't appreciate that Flick is like, even though he does screw up, he comes from a place of well intentions and all his
Yes.
stuff is good. Like his little microphone thing. that thing worked really well, and his, like you said, his little telescope thing, and I'm all like, you just gotta, like, fine tune Flick. You need Flick to have somebody to oversee Flick, because it's like Flick has,
He
like,
needs a better PR
yeah,
Yeah.
he just needs a
There you go.
supervisor,
There you go.
somebody to reel him in, to just be like, all right, show me what you got, and then let's just make sure you don't, fuck it up with your nonsense and
or you
everything.
show me what you've got and I'm going to tell you how we're going to use it to not piss
Exactly.
everybody off.
Exactly. Okay. So
Can
I
relate.
love right on. I love this scene because I love that, like, it shows how the team works together. I mean, we got that from before, but this one, you needed, like, you had the distraction of the bug on a stick. He's like, "Look at me, I'm a plump little sausage bug on a stick," or whatever. And then and
Cute.
and then you got how Rosie made the net, and the big dim guy was, the rhino bug was carrying them and flying them like a
Was the
helicopter.
helicopter,
Yeah,
yep.
exactly. You got this
Stupid
whole this
ladybug cuts
yeah,
the thing.
exactly. And when there was like, when there was a chink in the armor, that, like, for instance, when the bug got distracted by Dot and the other bugs, they were able to rally. And I love how they went into the little, like, blackberry bush, and the bird, like, grabbed onto the branches and, like hurt its little paw, and I was like, all right, now I feel bad for the bird's just trying to feed its
Yeah.
babies and everything. And I'm like, I feel like there's another point of view of this movie, but through the bird. Like, she's just sitting in her nest being like, what are these stupid bugs doing, huh? They're building a model of me? That's adorable. I love these things.
That's going to
Um,
make them taste even more delicious
exactly.
because
I'm
they
gonna,
appreciate me.
and you're like, I'm gonna eat you later, fuckers. And, like, as soon as my babies are all better. Okay. So we do hop over to the hospital wing of the anthill, and the blueberries, who are like this Girl Scout kind of troop. They've painted their little leaf capes like a ladybug, because they're in love with Francis now. Francis is
So
their role
cute.
model. So cute, so cute.
Their honorary den mother,
Den,
which does
den
not seem
mother.
to make Francis happy.
Yeah, right. Um,
No.
yeah. So then they decide that they're gonna stay. Ooh, excuse me. But they're gonna build a giant bird model, because Hopper is scared of birds because one tried to eat him, and they're gonna build the giant one to scare the grasshoppers away. Now, I love this next scene where they're building the bird, the bird model. I loved everything about it. I loved how they cut it out of a leaf, and then they flew it up to the sun to create a model on the sand. I was like, that is great. I was like, whoever
That
thought of
was
this
so
crap.
cool.
Yeah, whoever thought of this crap is like, you got your thinking cap on. Um and then we
Yes.
get what's called I don't know if you guys ever watched Robot Chicken, but then we get what's called Montage Man, where we get what a long period of time in like 2 minutes. And so we get this thing of them building the bird and everything. We get the backbone stick, and then we get, like, they use the as the beak, they use the like an acorn or whatever and everything. And they're doing all this stuff. Now, I going also, we'll do this scene also. Kayla, what did you love about this scene, and, like, what was your favorite part? What is there anything that stuck out to you for it?
I loved how they were all working teamwork. It was adorable. Like the circus bugs and the ants were doing stuff together. Like they couldn't have done it without each other. And I thought that was really adorable. But I mean, not to give away anything else, but I was thinking, like, that looks really flammable.
Right on. It looks very dry, if you will.
Yeah.
Betta, what about you? Was there anything that stuck out to you on this scene or anything?
The whole thing about this that irked me the whole time is everyone is so enthusiastic about this plan and they're doing it. And I'm like, this is Flick's plan. If they knew this was his plan, they would freaking not be this happy.
Oh,
And
for
they sure
sure.
as heck wouldn't be doing it. But they thought it was ingenious. And it really was a good plan. It just had a few little minor flaws. I mean, it's just a circumstance.
You're right.
But I loved when Rosie is using her webs and she's like talking herself through each little thing
Right,
as she's
right.
doing it. I thought that was great.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was pretty great. I love that while this bird is being built, they juxtapose that to Francis in the hospital wing with the little blueberries. Because at first he scares them. He's like, "Ah, get the hell away from me, you little kids and everything." And then he's like, "I'm just playing. Come here." And then the next one is them playing poker and he's losing. And I'm like, Francis, come on, don't teach these children to gamble.
Which is why they can't leave because he's got to teach them canasta.
Exactly right. Yeah, right. And then like you guys said, the and I loved the part where they're doing the rowing of the wings and Heimlich's
Yeah.
all like he's like roll home and he's got like crumbs just falling out of his mouth. So cute. Love him. Love him. He's like, you all look like little ants from
Yep,
up
just
here.
like a
Yeah. And so they lift the bird up into the tree and they're all ready set to go. Now, while all this is going on, we get Hopper in his little sombrero hideout with the other grasshoppers, which I thought was an interesting like why was he in a sombrero with the
It's
other
their biker bar.
yeah, but like but why? And where is this biker bar? Because there was like a like a danger sign and everything and they're in the desert and I'm all like, "What is this taking place in Arizona? Where is this taking place?"
I
That's
think
what I
that's
want
it. I think it's in a southern
I
state.
know, that's what I thought.
because like I was a little confused, but at the same time, I not enough to where I care. Like I'm not all like, oh
Well,
no,
you
like
do realize that this is a bug's life. So really, it's 2 inches away from where the ants
that is true.
live.
That is true. That is true. There's another movie that came out the same year, I believe, as this one called Ants.
Yep.
And we should do that movie too. That movie is great also. But like that takes place within like a 2 feet
Yeah.
radius and
It's
everything.
like a
Like
backyard or some
it's a
shit.
park. It's a
Yeah,
park and
there you go.
everything. Yeah, it's but that movie's great too. Okay. So, but that one's like more adult because they swear and everything in that one a little bit. Okay, so they're in there.
Ooh.
Yeah, so they're in their biker bar with mosquitoes and they've got like a little
It's got a secret massage parlor in it.
Exactly,
Wink, wink. You
exactly.
know that was a
Yeah.
happy
Yeah.
ending
Yeah, get
type of
hey,
parlor.
hashtag legalize tuggies. I'm all about the tuggies.
You know
Yeah,
it.
listen, every dude has a time in their life when they get like, addicted to rubbing tugs for a little bit. You know, 40 bucks for a tuggy,
It's
you just lay it on
natural.
yeah, you just lay it on the table. They know what to do. Okay, anyways. Listen, I just want to say, like, sometimes when you get jerked off by like a 40-year-old Asian chick, you're like, I ain't doing this right. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this wrong my entire life. Like, so weird that that
Yeah, I'm
a
sorry. I
middle-aged Asian
cannot
woman knows how to do this better
I
than you
I
do.
can't relate because I've
Yeah,
never
that's
had a
fine.
40-year-old Asian woman
You
get
never
me
had
off.
to jerk
Sorry.
off your dick? Okay, anyways,
I know. I mean, what
okay.
kind of world am I living in?
Not the right one. Okay, so um a malt, he gets, which I love that his name is Malt and he's like flecking off skin like he's
Oh,
a
gross, I
sunburn.
know.
Yeah, like I'm like what's going on with Malt here? What's your problem, Malt? You're just gross. But I liked him. Okay. So Malt
Mhm.
is getting talked into by these other idiots to not go back to the ants and take over, okay? And he's all like, "Oh, this is a great idea. I'm going to go tell Hopper." And Hopper, who's, which by the way, I love that Hopper's laying on a bullet. I'm all like, this is so unsafe. One fire and you're all dead here and everything. But he's getting massaged real good. And then Molt is all like, hey, I got an idea. And he's all like, what? And he's all like, it wasn't my idea. And he's all like, it was, and I love Molt, how he's all like, brave 1 minute and then he throws those motherfuckers under the bus the next minute. He's just
So
like he is not your
So
friend.
fast.
Yeah, he is not ride or die. You cannot trust Molten no matter what. He is just an
Oh, he saw how mad his brother got, and he was like, "Ah, shit, I'm done."
yeah,
Nope.
yeah. I think it was just the different color eyes. Like they're just like you're just like, all right, I'm upset. He's like, you're upset. I'm good. I'm good. Your eyes are freaking me out. So then Hopper, he's all like, hey guys, I've decided we're not going to the anthill anymore. This is ridiculous. We're not gonna go. He's like, but then and then he also, and which I forgot to mention this, he's like, but there was that one ant that stood up to me. And they're all like, he's like, they're like, yeah, that doesn't matter. Whatever, it's fine, Hopper. You're good. And then he takes out this little thing, seed from this like, hamster wheel
Yep.
thing, and he throws it at one of them. He's like, "Did that hurt?" And he's like, "No." And then he gets another one. He throws it at another one. He's like, "Did that hurt?" No. And then I love how he just like he's like ah, and he just clumps off the thing, and the thing covers all three grasshoppers. And he's like, when one of them's brave and they all get brave, they can outnumber us. What did he say? Like 100 to 1.
Yep.
And I was like, he's like, so we're gonna go back there and we're gonna like, take our stuff now. And he's like, let's ride. And I love how they all like shoot up their wings like right off the bat and everything.
And I love how they're like, oh, he's such a great motivational
Right,
speaker.
yeah, right, yeah, it's great. So then back at the anthill, they're having a celebration or whatnot, and then the flea shows up. And the jig is up because he reveals that the circus ants or the circus bugs are actually circus bugs and they're not
Yep.
warriors. Okay. And they're
Mhm.
and they're just like, you know what, Flick, you and these circus bugs, you get out of here. And I'm all like, you guys, just because they lied, and I understand you're pissed, but the plan is still solid. Like, I don't understand your thought process here, Princess Ada. Like, get your shit together, honey. But she doesn't. She's like, we if we hurry up, we still got time to collect our nuts and berries for Hopper. And I'm all like, what? So and then while he's going away, Dot, she catches up to him. And she's all like, "You need to come back and save us and everything." And he's like, "No, I just need to go away." And she sets a rock on the bench and on the pencil bench. She's like, "Pretend it's a seed or whatever or something like that." I can't remember exactly what she says. Pretend it's a rock. And I love that came full circle, that little whole thing. And then the grasshoppers attack and everything. And the thing I love about this one is I love that it's like midday and it's like all like kind of foggy out and everything. And they just show up, right? Right. And they get the queen. And that you guys chime in here with anything you want to say. Chime in here and everything.
Love where this is going. So I just want to see what
Okay, right
happens.
on. But so the blueberries, they hop in their leaf stem.
Clubhouse.
Yeah, their little clubhouse, which I'm all like, look at you, blueberries. This place looks freaking awesome.
So
I'd hang
cute.
out here. And they're like,
Yeah.
we're just gonna chill out here and everything. Like, you ladies stay here. I'm gonna go. Dot's all like, I'm gonna go get help. I'm gonna go find what's his face.
Save my mom.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go save my mom. I'm gonna go find Flick, and that's where we get her, where she goes to tell Flick that he's a seed or whatever. So
Payback time.
yeah,
Blueberry.
I love how while she's doing that, the meth head grasshopper is chasing after her, and she gets away because she's finally able to fly and everything. She can fly.
So cute.
So
That's my
cute.
favorite part.
Yeah, I love when they called her Spec and she's like, it's Dot and everything. So the bugs decide that they're gonna come back, right? And they see that they've turned this into like a little camp or whatnot, and it's all crazy bones. And so they're gonna do the bird situation, but they've now added on a new factor of it where the circus bugs come in. And they're like, Princess Ada hired us because she knew you wanted to see our act and everything. And I love how Hopper's all like, kill them. And he's like, what? And everything. Um,
And then the
So-
twins save the day.
they save the day. They pop out of their little thing and they're like hatta 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 and everything. And I love how they get mad at the one gets mad at the other one like right off the bat, and they just like start like slap fighting each other. So while that's
Apparently, you've never seen twins get along and then at the flip of a hat, and you don't know why, just start fighting. I've seen it a lot.
I mean, I've been a part of it.
That's what I mean. I'm like,
So while this is going on, what are they called? The blueberries, they go up to the bird because they're gonna be the little rowers of the wings, right?
I don't think they're strong enough. That's where this doesn't fly
Yeah,
with me.
yeah.
I don't think their puny ant arms are making this bird
I mean,
fly.
can't ants lift 2 times their weight?
Oh, I think it's like 2,000
Okay,
times.
see, yeah, they can handle it. They can handle it. Those girls, girl power. Anyways, so while this is going on, the bugs, they did the circus bugs. They're gonna do their what was it like their Chinese carton of transformation from before
Yes.
that they
To
messed up.
save the queen.
Yeah, to save the queen, and she gets in,
Yes.
and so while this is going on, they do the thing, and out pops the butterfly. And Hopper's all like, they're getting rid of the Chinese carton, right? And Hopper's all like, hey, where's the queen and everything? Like he's not having it, right? And then as that goes on, they like the ants scatter. The ants scatter. They're scattering everything. The lightning, what are they called? The lightning bugs. They're letting off their butt lamps and everything, and they loosen up the bird, right? And the hopper and the grasshoppers, they're all freaking out. They're all freaking out and everything. They're going ape shit. They're pretending to get, their eyes taken out by the bird or whatnot and everything. What did you guys think about this whole scene? Because I one thing that stood out to me, and I don't know if this was a great to you, but I love when he passes Heimlich and Heimlich's like sucked in his head and he's put like the little jelly and everything. He's like he's been decapitated, and I thought that was great. So was there anything about this like attack scene that stood out to you or you really loved it a lot that I missed? Kayla, we'll start with you.
That was my favorite scene. Dot's escape plan when she was like running and like she knows the lay of the land better. So he's like bashing into stuff and she's like sliding down like leaves and telling her wings on the way, like,
Yeah,
please work.
right.
I thought that was so cute. I really liked Dot. She was one of my favorite characters.
Mhm.
I said earlier the ladybug was my favorite, but I actually wrote down that the aphid that the queen carries around was my favorite.
The aphid. Right on.
A
Right
little mini
on.
dog or something. Um, but yeah, I liked the movie. I like that part of the movie, and we're getting close to the end. And
We
at
are.
this point, I was thinking like there's berries and there's like fake blood, but like how are they really going to like end this? Because somebody needs to die.
Exactly. Exactly.
How are they gonna do it?
Right. Vetta, was there any part of the attack sequence that stand out to
I
you?
liked when they're trying to release the bird and they have the two boys that were like, Flik,
Yeah,
my dad said we're never going to see you again because you're going to fail. And the other one goes, my dad thinks he's going to die. And those are the two kids that are in charge of launching the bird. And of
Right.
course, it doesn't work. And I'm like, yeah, this isn't your brain trust here, guys. Come on. So I
Right.
really like that. I thought it was like cute. And I love how everyone sees the blueberries going up except the grasshoppers. Like all these other ants figure it out and they're trying to like make sure that nobody sees them. And I'm like, I don't think that no one else would have noticed, but I like it. It's good for the movie.
Right. So
I
while
thought
this is
so too.
going, yeah, so while this is going on, they didn't fill in the flea into their plan. So he gets released from his manacles and he decides he's going to save the day and he lights the bird on fire, which I was like, that's that's fun and everything. And so Flick, he lets loose the bird and it crash lands and everything and it's lighting on fire and all the blueberries, they run out and all the ants like they scatter whatnot. And Hopper's all like, he grabs Dot because that's like his favorite thing to grab is Dot and everything. He's like, whose idea was this and everything. And Flick's all like, it was my idea, fucker. And so then he releases the meth head grasshopper on him and everything. And that fucker, like, he tears his shit up. He is just pummeling him left and right. I'm all like, man, I don't want to fuck with what's his whatever this Thumper's name. I don't want to.
Thumper.
Thumper is right. He thumped his ass all over the place, like straight up. Like he was just karate kicking him all over the
He
place.
had a black eye, poor Flick.
Yeah, exactly. And so Hopper, he's like, you piece of dirt. He's like, no, wait, I'm wrong. You're lower than dirt. You're an ant. And I was like, ooh, man, you're really hitting with the insults, Hopper. I was like, what a fucking dickhole. So he decides. So Flick gets up and he's all like, he's like takes a big breath and he's like, ants are not made to serve grasshoppers and everything. He's like, we're stronger than you. Um,
Yeah, fuck you.
yeah. He's like, fuck you and everything. He's like, there's more of us than you. So the ants, they're realizing this as it's going on, and there's like 20. I love the 20 grasshoppers all like huddled in a corner, like shit, this is happening. I wish Thumper would have just been like bring it on. I've taken enough meth today. I can take all you on and shit. So so
Yeah.
so they all, and I love how when the ants attack them back, how Molt he gets so scared that he jumps out literally out of his own skin and everything. That part was also
That's
gross. I was like,
repulsive.
yeah, I was like, ew.
Ugh.
And
Yeah. Ugh.
so they attack and everything, and then the ants are taking back their island or whatnot. So Hopper, he's all like, I am going to fuck your shit up. And the rains come, by the way. The rains are coming, by the way, all this is going on. Okay. And Hopper gets free and he attacks Flick, right? Because he's all like, I need to get the one bug that stood up to me to, like, be all like, this is what's happening. And while they're doing that, one thing that I loved was when they're flying and the stick bug like gets stuck in the branches,
Lost in the
and they're like, where are you? He's like, I'm right here.
only
He's-
stick with eyes.
yeah, they only stick with eyes. That's so good, so good.
That was so funny.
Yeah. So Flick is smart enough that he realizes that what's going on, right? So he realizes where they're at and what he needs to do, right? So he stands right by the bird's nest, okay? And Hopper, because he's a big moron, he's all like, "Oh, you made another bird?" And he's like, "Hello, princesses, are you in there?" And the bird's all like, "Squawk!" And he's like, "Ah, shit, I done fucked up." And he's running, and the bird is like, this bug's not getting away. I'm gonna feed him to my babies, which the babies were cute and everything. And bye bye Hopper. And Hopper did get what he deserved because Hopper was a dickhead and everything.
100%.
100, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
But I'm just like, I kind of wish Hopper might have survived so we could get a Bug's Life 2, because we never did get a Bug's Life 2.
There was supposed to be a Bug's Life 2 made, and it was going to be Hopper's Revenge. So he could have.
I mean, maybe. Well, like, I wonder what he would. What he's
lived.
missing? He's like missing a leg or whatnot. That would have
He's
been
already
fun.
missing an antler. You
Yeah.
remember? Because the twins have it, and they pretend
Yeah,
to
right.
talk
Yeah,
with
that
it.
was yeah.
So
I
funny.
forgot about that. That was good. Yeah, I forgot about that. That was good. That's good. So good.
Yeah.
So they're saying, so they've accepted Flick's inventions of the thing, and they're saying goodbye to the circus bug. The circus bugs are leaving the ants and everything. And one thing that I thought was fun, also touching, was the big rhino bug is walking along, and Rosie's all like, "Dim, let him out," and he has to lift his wings, and the blueberries are in there, like they're going with him. I was like, "Oh, that's adorable." Yeah, they're great. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they're also
Yeah.
crying because they're
Like,
saying
it's
goodbye
his
to.
way.
Yeah, and they're crying because they're getting rid of, and Francis and Molt joins the crew or whatever, and so they say
does.
And
goodbye.
some of the ants join too.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
they form a giant cartwheel into the truck.
exactly. Hey,
Yep.
But and then Princess Ada, the queen gives Princess Ada the crown, which I'm like, that's not how ant life works. Okay, you have to die, but whatever, it's fine, it's fine. And she gives her little
What
mini
did she
crown.
do to earn it anyways?
Exactly. She did nothing except for be a bitch. I didn't like her this entire movie. And
She's a bitch.
she gives her little mini crown to Dot, which I'm like, yay, Dot got a crown and everything.
Why didn't she
Um,
have one before? She was still a
that's
princess.
a great question, right? And so they leave. And Heimlich, he gets his wings, which are so pathetic. And I'm all like, he just looks like a caterpillar with
He
wings.
does turn into a beautiful shade of like turquoise bluish. He
I
changes
mean,
colors and his little wings pop out and he thinks
yeah,
he's flying, but he's going nowhere.
Well, he's
that is true.
happy. Yeah,
I
he's
thought
happy.
he is happy. I thought it would have been better if he just like came out looking like a complete stud of a butterfly. Like I'm all like that would have been
Right?
Yeah,
like he went
muscle
to the
man
yeah,
butterfly.
exactly. Like he went to the gym and got all like ripped and shit. I was like that would have been better because it'd been more realistic. Because butterflies don't look anything like caterpillars. I'm like this is already your
No.
story is not tracking. Like come on.
Well,
And
he
so
was a
they
huge caterpillar.
yes. But so and then one and I also loved how they released the little stalks of stuff and it
Or to
turned
make
into like fire. Yeah,
fireworks.
to make fireworks. It was pretty great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so and then we get like this pan out version of their island, which I was like their island looks really fun, you know, just like these ants living on their little piece of this earth or whatnot. And then that's where the movie ends, right? So I wanted
Mhm.
to ask you guys a question about this movie. Like, if they did make a number two, what would you have liked to have seen happen with the island of ants? Yeah. All right, Kayla, we'll start with you. If they had made it a second one, what would you have liked to have seen?
More of Flick's inventions. I want to see more of the city life
Mm-hmm.
bugs. Um, I don't know. I guess just more continuation. The thing is, like this A Bug's Life movie, I felt like halfway through I was like, is this the ending? And then they like picked back up and it was like a whole another movie. It was almost like A Bug's Life 2
Right
within
on.
A Bug's Life.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean like Toy Story, like that was just kind of like a continuation. I can't believe that they didn't make A Bug's Life 2. It'd been so easy.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I agree. Vetta, what about you? If they made a Bug's Life too, what would you have liked to have seen?
I would have liked to have seen we know that Flick and Ada would have had a family. So it would have showed a little bit, but I want to see Dot as that teenage princess that
Yeah.
goes away to the city to go to college or just to get away because she's sick of this island and ant life. And
Good
us
idea.
her take on the big city. Yeah. I
Right
think
on.
Dot would have been great. Maybe she gets in with some, takes out some dead against some mobs. I don't know. Dot could do just about anything in her blueberry world. So
Right on. I think what I would have liked to have seen in a second ant life movie is maybe like a another ant colony attacks their ant colony for like resources and everything like and maybe takes
Oh, shit.
Princess Ada as their queen, like our queen died, we needed a queen so we can make more babies and everything. I think one thing that they didn't really like
Cool.
because like in ant culture if you will, there's like a warrior caste and then there's like the worker cast and everything. And so I was like, maybe if like you get like a because if you like this movie, it seems like they're all like worker cast more than warrior cast. So maybe you've
Yeah.
got like an anthill that's like all warriors. They're all like, fuck this noise, we're strong
oh,
as
and maybe it
shit.
was a really rainy season, so their ant hill got
Yeah.
like half demolished or
Exactly,
something. Oh, I like
something
it.
like that. Yeah, all that's so then they got to call back the circus bugs, be like, "Hey guys, we need your shit," because like, ah, shit, our fucking shit got fucked up. Like the hill's half gone. Princess Ada got taken over. Princess Dot is too young to be like birthing babies. We need some fucking help and everything. That would I would have liked to have seen that. Okay, So I'm gonna ask you guys just so we can wrap this thing up. Is number one, first question. If you wanted to add any more about this movie, about talk about a little bit more about this movie, and then would you recommend this movie? We'll start with you, Kayla. Was there anything else you wanted to say about this movie?
I think we touched mostly everything. I did want to say that I really didn't care for when Flik was acting like a little man child, and when Dot, a little kid, had to like turn his frown upside down. Like that was very mature of her, and she had to see an adult acting like a whiny little brat, and I was
He
like,
was
oh
being
God, here
bitch.
we
Yeah,
go.
he was. He was being a little bitch.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend this movie to like people. So like for me, you guys gave me that list and stuff, and like scary movies are just not for me. I was such a wuss. But like a movie that when I turn it on, I'm instantly like, oh my gosh, I love this. Like visually, it's pleasing to me. I like the music. I like the storyline to it. I obviously have complaints. Like I could complain about anything. So,
Right on.
there's always that. But I want everybody to watch this movie at least once.
Right on. Vetta, what was there anything else you wanted to add about this movie?
I did want to add, we did not mention that at the end, the whole rock being a seed thing does come around a third time when the bugs give the queen a rock and
Oh yeah,
they
yeah.
don't understand why, and Flick and Dot get it.
That's it.
So I did like that,
That was
because in my
cute.
mind, I go from this point on, whenever the bugs are, or the circus bugs are invited to perform for someone, they're going to give them a rock, and the people are
Right.
going to be
That's
like,
so
I
funny.
don't get this. So
Yeah.
it's now become part of diplomacy, all because
Right.
of that.
Yeah.
But I would definitely recommend this movie. Kids love it. Even as adults, it's good just because the kids may not always get the sarcasm or the funny little adult jokes every now and then, but it's a way for parents, words are hard, parents and adults to enjoy it too. So for sure, I would
Yeah.
recommend.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I really love this movie. I think it's such a great movie. It's so much fun. It's got, like you said, Kayla, it's got this anti-bullying message, just because somebody's smaller than you doesn't mean you have to pick on them. And if you are smaller, just get a bunch of your friends and beat the fuck out of them. So I
Go find
like
yourself some circus bugs.
exactly. Go find yourself some circus bugs, pay them off and everything, and your bully will leave you alone. And I would definitely recommend this movie. I love this movie. I've loved it since the first time I saw it. It's great. All right, you guys. Well, if that's all we got, Kayla, thank you so much for joining us. You're such a delight. I love you. I think you're great. I can't tell you how much I love you. You're fantastic.
100%. I am 100% sure that if you lived closer, we would hang
Yeah,
out
we
all
would
the
hang out
time.
all the time. I would hang
All the
out with
time.
you. Yeah, yeah. So, okay, well, we're gonna wrap this sucker.
Definitely.
What would you say?
I said, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks for
Wait,
having me on. I should come on again. Just let me know.
absolutely,
Absolutely.
dude. You are coming back on
Yeah, for
for
sure.
sure. Yeah. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for listening to us. Make sure to follow us at Be Us Drunk Movie Reviews on YouTube, where I will post the video version of this. Also, you can follow us on Twitter at BS Drunk Pod to stay updated. And if you listen to us on Apple Podcast or Spotify, please leave us a 5-star review. We would really appreciate it. It helps us out monetarily wise. Like I said before, we'll post this on our YouTube channel. And that will be in the link down below. Also, you guys, we do have a Patreon if you guys are interested in that. There's plenty of different levels to suit any of your needs or interests or anything like that. And the link for that will be in the description down below also. But most importantly, you guys, please don't forget to drink, recap, review, and repeat. Bye, you
Bye,
guys.
guys.
Bye.